For over 35 years, the Armenian Bar Association has stood as a unifying force, elevating legal excellence, preserving cultural identity, and promoting justice for all. From courtrooms across the globe to the villages of Artsakh, our members have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of fairness, integrity, and the rule of law.
What drew me to the Armenian Bar Association when it was first formed was really my own experience. So I knew how helpful bar associations could be, in particular, bar associations representing minority, racial, and ethnic groups. The governor encouraged me and my successors to work openly and diligently to encourage applicants, not only women, but also minority applicants as well.
For Armenians, democratic institutions, the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary are not just some abstract ideas. They are not just some important guideposts for a civil and orderly society. It's a lot more personal for us because it was precisely the absence of them that led to the destruction of our historic homeland, where millions of Armenians lived for thousands of years. It was the absence of these principles that led to the genocide of our people and that fuels its continuing denial. It was the absence of these principles that broke our families. As Christian Armenians, we were not allowed to testify in Turkish Sharia courts in any lawsuit in which a Muslim was a party. As Christian Armenians, we were overtaxed and underrepresented. We did not have the right to bear arms or own certain types of property while everybody else did. They made our young boys dig their own graves. They stole our little girls and made them into their child brides. There were no democratic institutions in Ottoman Turkey to help the Armenians then. There was no rule of law to help protect the Armenians. And there was no independence of the judiciary to help shield the Armenians.
This year, we reflect on a core truth. An independent judiciary is not just a pillar of democracy, it is its very foundation. It ensures that every voice is heard, every right protected, and every decision rendered with fairness and impartiality.
I have been involved with the Armenian Bar Association for well over a decade. It's been a delight to see the organization grow. I think for several years they have been so intentional in trying to ensure that they not only represent the Armenian community, but that they represent the entire community through the lens of Armenians. I think they are serving a much greater purpose in trying to ensure that they are not only part of the fabric of our judicial system and our legal profession, but they are leaders within that profession. You need to have a judiciary that is representative of the community that it serves. So that requires diversity. It requires the two other branches of government to see the judiciary as a co-equal branch, to fund it appropriately, to ensure that it meets its mission.
When the Republic of Armenia emerged as an independent state in 1991, after 70 years of Soviet subjugation, the Armenian Bar Association jumped fast and leaped far to ensure that this new young country would be built on pillars of fairness and accountability, on the enjoyment of rights and the enforcement of responsibilities. Our members traveled to Armenia on many occasions, rolled up their sleeves, and offered their input on the drafting of a new constitution. One of the most memorable of those trips, Justice Antonin Scalia went with us to Armenia. And ever since those days of exciting transition, around 30 years ago, the Armenian Bar Association keeps feeding the wonderful synergies between that land of Ararat and this beautiful land of liberty.
We honor those who uphold that promise. Their commitment to justice strengthens our institutions and preserves public trust in the legal system.
The Armenian Bar Association has played a critical role in the development of the democracy in Armenia in its early transitional years and continues to do so by fundamentally offering infrastructure, knowledge, experience, equal access to justice to every individual who comes through a courtroom door, whether that be virtually or in person. So it's of the utmost importance that we are always assuring that the rule of law is followed and that the independence at its core level is presented. I would like to just thank the Armenian Bar Association for the amazing committed work they do for in standing behind the judiciary and understanding that we are collectively stronger than when we stand alone, and now more than ever having the community of the Armenian Bar Association behind us is indescribable.
Independence of the judiciary, whether in the United States or in Armenia, is not an optional topic. It's the very base root of freedom and equality. And for Armenians, it has proven to be the difference between life and death. And that is exactly why we insist on it everywhere we are.
At the Armenian Bar Association, we stand proudly along these guardians of the law. Their example inspires our continued work, supporting access to justice, mentoring future legal leaders, and advancing the values that sustain a just and democratic society. Their words remind us of what's at stake and what must always be protected: justice, dignity, and the enduring independence of the courts.